Well, another young East Midlander made a big impact in politics this week. Kirsten Gorton, an apprentice from Bombardier in Derby, wowed the Conservative conference when she appeared before them. So what does she make of politics?
Back at work after a big week for Kirsten Gorton. She's an apprentice welder at Bombardier in Derby.
Being an apprentice here is different from other places because you're welding and you're building trains, and that's why I'd like to speak about something that I'm passionate about, and about apprenticeships and education.
Kirsten got that opportunity when she appeared on stage at the Conservative Party conference.
Sorry, conference, but I simply had to prove that a girl could do it too. Thank you for listening. When I was up on stage, I felt so nervous. My legs felt like jelly. So I'm very pleased I did it because I got to speak about something that I'm quite passionate about, which is education, apprenticeships, and more women coming into engineering.
She was invited to speak after the Loughborough MP and Education Secretary Nicky Morgan visited the train makers earlier this summer.
Nicky Morgan, from the education sector, came to Bombardier, and there was some of us there to greet her with things that we've been building in the back so she can have a look at them. And she started asking me about how I came about all this, and I told her a bit about me, and she seemed quite impressed and invited me along to the conference to do a speech. I think it's important to know about the political system. It's just not what a lot of people my age tend to talk about.
So Kirsten there might have wowed the Conservatives at conference, but she says she's not interested in politics. What are you going to do? How are you going to turn people on like her to politics?
Well, it's fantastic that people like Kirsten can come along to conference and talk to people who want to get involved in politics about their real life experiences. I think it was fantastic. There were a number of people that did that last week. In terms of making sure that people like Kirsten are involved in politics, I think it's incumbent on all of us as candidates to get out there, knock on the doors, talk to people one-to-one, and talk to people properly, not sound bites from London, not what the National Party is saying, but actually about the real issues which affect them on a day-to-day basis.
Is one of the problems, Catherine, that they can't see much difference between you as parties?
I think what they talk about is absolutely fundamental. So when I had an apprentices fair at Derby College in Ilkeston last Saturday, we had 60 people signed up for apprentices, which is brilliant. But what they were interested in, they wanted a job that paid properly. They wanted proper training. So I think if you're talking about things that make a difference to them, like with people of all ages, that is going to communicate with them how important it is to vote.
Critics do say, Lee, that your policies are hitting the young disproportionately. Unemployment among the under-24s is 16%.
I mean, I clearly disagree with that. Youth unemployment has reduced over the last 4 years or so, but every single young person who's not in employment is something that we have to try and sort out, is something that we have to try and resolve. But the policies to do that, and the policies which would help people in Clay Cross or Ashover in my constituency, are policies of aspiration, are policies of personal responsibility, are policies where the government helps you where you need, but also allows you to stand on your own 2 feet.
But in Erewash, certainly youth unemployment has gone up. And that's why we actually are doing so much work about making sure that we want as many people who are currently at university to get apprenticeships under the Labour government.
Well, Kirsten is an apprentice, as we saw there, and the government has done a lot to create more apprenticeships.
Well, I want to make sure that we've got proper apprenticeships where you really have training and a job at the end of it. And I'm so pleased with the Labour commitment in terms of increasing apprenticeships, because I think it is the future for so many people, and a really rich future.
And fundamentally, you have to judge a government on its record, and the government has delivered hundreds of thousands of new apprenticeships. You look at Bombardier, where 80 new apprenticeships with real jobs at the end, which Catherine talks about, have been delivered already. So if you're talking about apprenticeships, then actually the government's record is very good.
Thank you very much.